Addictions can be a destructive and terrible thing. Don't fear. There are ways of getting help. The first stage to getting help is admitting that you have a problem. The second stage is actively seeking help, most often found in the group of peers sharing the same problem.
Whoa, hold on a second, stop the music, stop.
We don't have a problem.
Yeah, we can stop whenever we want.
We just don't want to.
Welcome to Warcraft Anonymous on WCRadio.com. It's 7 p.m. in the East, midnight across the pond. It's time to tune in, turn up, and zone out.
Hello, and welcome to Warcraft Anonymous with me, Hiko.
And me, Railvis.
Who is again distracted by IRC, but
I'm
that's
not
all right.
in IRC.
You're not in IRC.
I'm not. I'm in Gmail.
We are in Gmail. Oh, does that mean we got mail?
We have mail.
Oh, spectacular. As a side note, folks, we have a new email address for all of those of you who are interested in emailing us over the course of the show.
Why don't you spell this?
Yeah, I got my piece of paper out here again with how to spell the email address because I always tend to forget. So you can get a hold of us at warcraftanonymous@wcradio.com. WARCRAFTANONYMOUS at WCRadio.com. You can also get a hold of Railvis or myself personally by putting our names in front of an at WCRadio.com. Get a hold of me at Hiko at WCRadio.com and likewise Railvis
at WCRadio.com.
There you go. Before I get anywhere, I have a special shout out for Mahogany and the IRC channel. For just being awesome and grinding 11,000 honor in AV today, which he's now going to give me 2K from because, you know, I gave him the shout out. So, Mahogany, go ahead and just mail that honor to NECA on Moonrunner. However you get it there is fine.
Speaking of that, what was the... Well, actually, not speaking of that whatsoever. What was that horrible version of Thunderstruck we were listening to right before with the intro?
Yes, for those of you who stuck around for our fantastic musical pre-show that ended on a horribly dissonant note, that little clip of Thunderstruck was back when I was 14. I was in a 14 or 15, something in that neck of the woods. I was in a band called Indigo Joker. Gave a shout out to one of the members of that band last week. And that was our band at our very first show ever. One of our guitarists did his best to try to cover Thunderstruck, and you can see how that turned out. But we needed an extra 30 seconds of filler before we went into the theme, and that is what we came up with.
Do you have any tissues over there? Because my ears are still bleeding from that.
I don't, actually. Just try not to get any of it on my bed. So, welcome to Warcraft Anonymous on WCRadio.com. You can go ahead and pop into the IRC channel and chat with us. Go to www.wcradio.com, click on the chat panel, and click on the web Java client, either that, or you can join #WC Radio, or WoW Radio, I'm sorry, I keep getting this wrong. #WoW Radio.
I speak well.
I speak English in your very own IRC client. And we'll be in there, so just drop us a PM, say something in the chat, say hello. Even when we're not on the air, there are always people in there to talk about all sorts of crazy, fantastic things.
Do you think people who write horribly and use bad English in WoW actually speak like that in real life, so it gives them... are they really like what we just sounded like, and that's why it seems that way in Warcraft?
I don't know, because...
I don't speak good English!
It's entirely possible, and if that is the case, I really don't want to run into any of those people. But I suppose we can honestly say that, no, that's not the case, because Ulrus, everyone's favorite former host of WoW... Wow, things considered, apparently. No, World of Theorycraft was typing somewhat horribly in the IRC chat earlier today. And
take
we all
some
know
deep breaths. In, out, in. And just hold it for a while. And don't let it go. Alright, so anyway, on that note, and switching topics as he still holds it, how are you doing, Hiko? How was your week? You can let it out now.
My week was pretty good. We didn't actually do much. Let's see. I worked on homework all week. Being a grad student, which I believe Strixus has said was an horrible idea, and I'm going to go ahead and agree with her on that one. I was just inundated with homework all week, which is kind of sad because I only have 2 classes, and I just was unable to do anything pretty much other than homework. And Yeah, but, I'm looking forward. Tomorrow we're going to King Richard's Fair, which is Total Geek here. That is a Renaissance fair in the southeastern Massachusetts area. For those of you that are familiar, myself, the missus, and a whole bunch of our roommates are going with us down there. I'm looking forward to that. How about you? How was your week, Real?
My week was pretty good. Actually, my computer's having some graphics card issues now, and the power supply is going. But other than that, last night my Shaman hit 70, and the other day I realized that the World Defense Channel, which I tried so hard to get to on my Priest when they had the ranking system, is now open to everyone. So it's basically become the World Defense Barons Chat channel.
Woohoo! Barons Chat across the world. Which is funny because every time, there's any global channel that anyone can get into and talk to, that's always what it degenerates into. I remember when Looking for Group was, always up and you could do it globally, that's what it's for. You go into any city, that's what trade's used for. I really don't know why they just don't make a general worldwide chat for people to do that in, that, people like you and me can just turn off. But maybe people won't post in that because people will be turning it off. I don't know.
Well, it's like the trade channel. I mean, yeah, it's designed specifically for trade, but, that doesn't stop people from abusing it. So, I don't care if you could come up with a special Barons Chat channel. I'm sure people wouldn't use it because it's designated for that and they'd go elsewhere.
Yep, that absolutely sounds, accurate. That the only way people are going to use a chat channel for general
chat
use is if it's not labeled general. So, yeah. Alrighty, so
I'm disappointed at the amount of drop-ins we've had in the last two shows. I'm sad, and now I don't want you to just use the drop-in because I've mentioned it. We have to find places for these things to work.
That's true. I'm still not used to it, but that's okay.
You leave your mom out of this, Hiko.
Oh, I hate you, Realvis. As a side note, last week's self-help topic was how do you make money in WoW? And in last show, we only got, I think, 3 emails from various people for a self-help topic replies, and this week, it was completely different. So I can actually use a drop-in, and I'm going to go into our email box and pull up some of the mails that we got, if you want to head over to the forums and check out the thread there, too.
Captain, we're receiving 285,000 hails.
There you go. Congratulations, I officially used a drop-in that wasn't the cowbell one. Alrighty. Gmail is going incredibly slow, so I guess we'll just bounce over to the forums first. Are you there? Are you ready to read some self-help topics?
I am not in MIRC tonight. I will not be in MIRC. You can leave me all the chats you want. I see things blinking. MIRC is taunting me, but I am actually reading over this extremely long wall of text that Bavaria sent us, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So you can hop on over to the forums. You can even read along with us if you'd like. The forums, did we tell them where the forums are? Did you tell them? Because I wasn't listening for that split second.
I don't think I did, actually.
I think you should.
Okay, well, you can go to www.wcradio.com and click on the shows page. Go to Warcraft Anonymous and click on the forums. You can also get there by going to the forums tab at the top of the WC Radio page. And from there, you can go down to the Warcraft Anonymous section. And there you will find our forums. At the very top is a post stickied with self-help. And that's how you go. I hope you caught all that. So...
Hiko's usually quicker than that, but it doesn't have to do with actually speaking.
I hate you, Railvis. Yerby. Alright, so, self-help. How do you make gold in WoW?
High card levels... buy it. Nope.
So what?
We're not buying it. We're not buying gold because we don't promote gold buying here like some assholes.
We do not. And actually, last week I mentioned that would make an excellent Real Noobs of Warcraft, and you'll just have to hang around to our third segment to find out if it made it there or not. Anyway, as I was saying, self-help topic. How do you make gold in WoW? High card, level 70 Night Elf Hunter writes, the biggest thing for me is to not spend gold, making it as easy enough using the professions and daily quests. I am alchemy and herbalism, so I farm primals and herbs and use these to sell flasks, primal might, and elixirs on the auction house. Another thing to consider is level your cooking and fishing skills. The high-end Outlands foods such as the blackened basilisk and golden fish sticks sell quite well on the auction house and don't take too much time to farm up the mats. Hope this was some help, and it was, High Card. Thank you very much, and that is absolutely true. My number one problem with saving up money is I spend it a lot. Railvis's biggest problem in saving up money is that he's 2,500 gold in debt.
In fact, my problem is not so much the saving my money, but spending other people's money. That's the problem.
Yes, spending other people's money, that is ultimately the problem. In fact, like Relvis said, his shaman just hit 70, and he's going to spec her resto, which is fantastic. The more healers, the better. But even though he owes a lot of money to our friendly neighborhood warrior tank in the guild, he was asking for donations for his flying mount fund so he could get Alonia attuned to Karazhan.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that because I figure I need 2,400 gold to pay off the debt I'm in, and another probably 2,000 to actually get all the mount trainings I need because my shaman doesn't have any mount. I've been relying on Ghost Wolf since level 1. So I asked that tank last night if I could borrow 2,000 gold, and she just went and gird at me. So I told her it was for a legit reason.
Yeah. Legit reason.
But I don't think I'd ever have that paid off anytime soon, so I'd be back to the same spot I was in before.
Yeah, not so much. So, interestingly enough, Relvis and I got our first spectacularly long wall of text.
Oh, and are you stealing this? Because I'm looking at it right now.
No, if you want to read it, you're more than welcome. But, wow, thank you, Bavarius. Spectacular, our first wall of text. This one is getting framed, I think, and going up on the wall.
Bavarius from We Wipe on Trash. You want to handle the realms part? We bounce this back and forth.
Norganon Alliance writes.
All right. Is a verbose PS2.
Here, I'm going to go ahead. Before we start this, I'm actually going to get a countdown timer because I want a time to see how long this takes. So go ahead and start, Rail.
Well, he was afraid that we weren't actually going to read it all, and I'm going to go ahead and read it all, or attempt to read it all. He says, there are many ways of making money in WoW. How you actually make money is depending on your level, class, and how much gold you need. If you're leveling your first character, it's highly advisable to use an in-demand gathering profession, or even two. By in-demand, I mean not using skinning as your primary gathering profession. Herbalism or mining as primary gathering profession will always have a market, even for low to mid-level characters, due to 70 switching professions needing mats to level alchemy, jewel crafting, or blacksmithing, or for those with too much money on their hands. Using herbalism or mining, in addition to skinning, is a great gathering profession for a few. Let's see, he goes on to say, by using herbalism and mining together, you don't have to worry about switching back and forth from herbalism tracking to mining node tracking to level the process. This can be especially annoying if you're a hunter and accustomed to looking at your tracking to find quest mobs. While leather as a commodity isn't exactly high dollar in the leveling process, any money is good, and some things you can do without even trying. You will likely level it to the max quickly, grinding quest mobs or otherwise. When you level 70, making money options opens up greatly. If you have gathering professions, the demand is always high for materials, as I said earlier, including leather. If you have related profession combos such as herbalism and alchemy, potions and elixirs from alchemy at high levels are always needed for raids, which is very true. Another option for making money at level 70 is to do all the quests you have, since they give you double the gold, which is 12 in most cases. Since your life is easy when grinding quests, I highly suggest using map mods that make waypoints, such as Cartographer and other quest mods called Lightheaded, lists the comments for each quest from Wowhead without actually connecting to them for all you paranoid folks out there. Man, let's keep going here. What the combo allows is the ability to click auto-linked coordinates for each quest, giving you a GTA-esque arrow on your screen, pointing you straight to the quest mobs. You can stack quests and waypoint systems to plot out the most efficient path to complete them. Additionally, the comments from Lightheaded can help you out with bugged quests or quests such as S-Bomby drop rates, and aren't worth your time.
I got to give you credit for that, Bavarius.
He edited his
you
own...
radio edited your own email. That's spectacular. Go ahead and finish this up, Rail.
After a while, stop reading quest text and arrows just through the pages for coordinates and grinding out quest mobs like Machine/Flex. Be sure to fly around all the zones you didn't level much in for missed hubs. An exclamation point can mean a quest chain resulting in easy 100 gold, especially if the quest is designed for a sub-level 70. Did I mention that remaining quests can help you build rep with factions and give heroic keys? Another common way to make gold at level 70 is daily quests. Most people... Why did I do this?
I don't know why I let you do this.
Most
to be
people
perfectly honest.
are a little intimidated by the process of opening up dailies, but are really good at otherwise easy to understand guides on WoWWiki. Not to mention the group quests required to open up Ogre Law. I always mess up that name, but I'm going to keep going with it. Are great and easy money. You won't have many. You won't have many hit honored with Ogre Law, but it doesn't take long. Considering your dailies in groups save time, the prisoner quest in Sketties is great for that obvious reason. And I scroll down to the next 90 pages. The best part of dailies is you get reputation of Sketties and Ogre Law, which leads to some decent items that you can purchase with really helpful supplement P-rating gear. After all, an upgrade is an upgrade, no? The last method of making gold that I find helpful to fund my epic flyer was the ill-reputed primal farming, which I've done many times. Primal fires, manas, waters sell for a decent amount of gold in the auction house, about 15 to 25 depending on your market situation.
Yeah, I don't think we really need to go through all of the actual farming locations because I want to steal them all and just use them all for myself.
Sweet.
But Railvis, that little email there. By the way, Bavarius from We Wipe on Trash from Norganon Alliance. Great email, spectacularly well written and very informative and all that jazz. But it did take you 4.5 minutes to get through that. So I hope you've learned something about reading emails on the air.
Let you do them.
Yes, because
Read
I can
faster.
talk a lot faster. All right.
And probably better. I are not read very...
So I promise all the rest of the input for our self-help topic for the day is a lot shorter. If you head over to our forums, which if you manage to decipher the really fast rambling I got through earlier, you can get to our forums by going to wcradio.com, clicking on the forums, and heading down to Warcraft Anonymous. So what we got here is Fizzog on the forums writes, he gets a level 1 dwarf and goes to Ironforge and Beg. Spectacular. Real noobs of Warcraft for the win. But what he really does is the daily quest. That seems to be a pretty standard thing with people grinding money, and it's something we're actually going to talk about a little bit later in the show. Another thing is Draco Winson on the forums writes, he tends to buy out cloth and stuff at low prices and then mark them up a little and sell them at that price. Oh sweet, playing the auction house is a spectacular way to make money, one I've never been rich enough to actually make advantage of. Because unfortunately with that, to make money, you have to have money. It's kind of like the stock market. You buy stocks and then you put them back in, you sell them for higher, that kind of thing. Yeah, I never have money. I'm pretty sure I have about 20 gold right now. Raiding Karazhan and the Eye, Patty writes, is what makes him most of his cash. Raiding Serpent Shrine Cavern and the Eye is what loses me most of my cash. I'm pretty sure I read that wrong, but that's alright. Otherwise, the only other interesting thing that I wanted to mention was farming adamantite for 1 hour every night and then prospecting it with jewel crafting. Gartar on the forums has been doing that for about a month now, and apparently he has his epic flying mount and 8,000 gold. So Railvis, you need to hook up with him and figure out what he's doing and do that.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
I did it. I gave in to the blinking MIRC button. I clicked it, and I just thought I'd drop in, even though it has nothing to do with it. Terpster actually just posted in the MIRC to me. He gave a shout out to us saying that he's loving it, keep up the great work, and don't get any funnier or else he'll have to kick our butts.
Oh, man. Oh, no, that's not good. Terpster's listening. I guess I'm going to have to... Hold on a second. Let me get my show notes. I got to take off the comedy musicals parodies section of it. I got to get rid of that. So we're not going to do that today, but thanks for the shout out, Terpster. I appreciate it.
That actually wasn't a solicit. I actually turned that into a shout out because it was kind of like a shout out.
Oh,
he didn't actually say shout out, but he actually wrote to me, so I figured I'd make it a shout out just to make my ego
Just remember,
bigger.
folks, anytime you send us a PM, regardless of what you say, we're going to turn it into a shout out.
Increases our EP.
Yes, indeed. All right, so we've been going for a little while now, and a massive wall of text led us through most of our first little section here in our music bed. So we are going to roll on over to our first music break, and when we come back, yes, that's right, I promise, 100% real content that is absolutely original. Because that's what we're all about here at Warcraft Anonymous.
Originality.
Okay, it's probably not really all that original. We're going to be talking a little bit about patch 2.3. That's right, 2.2 has been beaten into the ground, and any more talk we say about it is just beating a dead horse over and over and over again. And it's however fun beating dead things is, we're going to move on to
beating
2-3.
dead things.
And we are back from that spectacular music break. You were listening to Thrice in Seosin. And now we're actually going to get to some of the content we actually do have planned for you. It's not much. Again, it's just like, primary topic number 1. That's what's on my show notes that actually don't exist, that aren't entirely in my head.
Wait. I just want to let everyone know they listen to Warcraft Anonymous here at WC Radio. And you are...
Hiko.
And I am Relvis.
And I forgot to do that little intro back. Well, you know what they say about the third time is a charm or something like that? And apparently the third time is a charm for us to turn up the suck knob and forget all the shiny little things like that.
Hey, don't group me with you. You're the one who forgot it. I remembered.
If I go down, I'm taking you down with me, Relvis.
If you go down, I ain't going down with you, but I will have a smile on my face.
Oh, wow. You leave my mother out of this, Relvis. As a side note, shout out to Sever in the IRC channel for staying up late, well past 1 a.m. in the EU, or staying up till 1 p.m. in the EU, just to listen to us talk about absolutely nothing in particular. Thank you, Sephir. You rock.
See, what they meant is listening to me. You just happen to be on the show with me. If it weren't for me, you'd be for the loss.
That's true. I would be for the loss, or maybe also for the fail. But so you know what? With that in mind, Rail, let me just extend my deepest thanks and admiration for being the gigantic asshole that you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Today we are talking about...
That was heartfelt.
Yes, it was. Came from the heart, right here. The people at home can't see me pointing, but I am pointing, and it's not at my heart.
Anyway, so today we're here to talk about patch notes on 2.3 because 2.2 and 2.2.2 have been talked to death. So I'm gonna take down my voice a little bit so I don't blow out people's ears.
Yeah,
I was just excited.
For those of you who have somehow missed the boat, patch 2.2 was finally released. And it was spectacularly made of fail for all of the people who had any kind of mod going up. It was pretty funny, to watch all of the mods implode with the new patch and a couple of the new things in the API. But 2.3 is promising to come out a lot faster than 2.2 did. Looks like Zulamon's going to be hitting the public test realms next week sometime. And since they're trying to get the process expedited for this patch coming up, I'm figuring maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that instead of the, I think it was like 10 weeks for patch 2.2.
And you can obviously see that it was well worth the wait.
Yes, I am getting so much use out of the voice chat that doesn't work on my server.
Yet.
Well, no, I'm not even going to say yet, because I have a sneaking suspicion that it's not going to work. Actually, that's an excellent question. If anyone is out in IRC right now, and you have done your little patch notes, what am I talking about? You have actually got voice chat working on your server, and you've given it a shot, give us a PM, let us know how it went, because I'm skeptical, and I'm too lazy to have done the PTRs myself.
You're not skeptical, you're Hiko.
I am Hiko, and you're Relvis, and this is Warcraft Anonymous at WCRadio.com. Shameless advertising on our own show, I guess, because that's what we're all about here, in addition to originality. Anyway, we're talking about the patch notes today, and I figure what we're going to do is we're going to do this in a very logical manner. We're just going to sit down and we're going to put on our monotone voices, and maybe we're going to go ahead and just get rid of our music bed for a second, and then from there we'll just go ahead and read through all of the patch notes. Because, I think that's really what everyone out there is looking for. Just, another 15 minutes of just kind of reading for the sake of reading. Wouldn't you agree, Relvis?
I think reading for the sake... Well, we have to have the monotone because I really like Ben Stein. I think if we adopt that kind of way so that we put everyone to sleep before we get to the really good stuff at the end of the patch notes.
That's true. That reminds me, as a complete side note, I miss Win Ben Stein's Money. I love that show.
You're getting sidetracked. Anyway, speaking of voice chat, World of Warcraft's voice chat sweepstakes, if you go to their main page, you'll notice that they're giving away 40 Logitech digital precision PC gaming headsets to kind of launch their VoIP monstrosity. So apparently over the next, I don't know, X amount of weeks, they're going to start giving, I think it's 5 weeks, they're going to start giving away headsets randomly to Warcraft subscribers who have been on for a certain amount of time. Each week, Progressive gets longer. First week's 3 months, 6 months, 9, 12, 15. So who knows? We might be the winners of a Logitech headset. I don't mind if they need to cheat to get me one. I want one.
Well, that's fine. I kind of want one too. My headset is pretty much crap and made to fail. But
Hey, you leave your mom out of this.
oh man, I hate you, Realbus. What's that? Have you made $3 this show so far? I think
They don't know about this because you brought it up last show and you didn't actually say that you. Well, you didn't say. You said I'm going to tell you about this later, but we're afraid that it's going to get like Dunkor and it's going to get. They're going to get confused.
No, I don't think so. Dunkor is, the ultimate person to hate because he has a T-shirt, and I don't want to have a I hate Railvis T-shirt. I'd really much rather have I hate Dunkor. But for those of you who aren't aware, every time somebody says that they hate Railvis, he gets $1. So he likes it when people say that he hates you or that we hate him because it makes him rich.
It does. It gives me lots of money that I really will never see. But I think if I took all the money I've accumulated so far from people telling me that they hate me, I could probably retire yesterday.
All right, so I have gotten a couple of PMs. One from Illyrian, who writes, I can't get voice chat to work because it's not implemented yet in EU. This seems to be the general consensus. It's not implemented pretty much anywhere. Although it turns out we do actually have one person in IRC who has used voice chat. And who, unlike Illyrian, is probably... who, like Illyrian, rather, is also a sad Pandaren. War writes, so that voice chat is not good. He used a different word, but I didn't want to repeat it in the air. It's so low quality that it's hard to hear anyone unless the volume is turned way up and still people sound garbled. And he's on Black Dragonflight, by the way. And Meccan from Kel'Thuzad pretty much says the same thing. So it looks like voice chat isn't all that spectacular. Yay, Vent! Yay, Vent. Anyway, we keep getting sidetracked, so we're actually going to go ahead and actually talk.
Putting me in the same group as you. You get sidetracked. I'm not in IMRC today. It's you.
It is me. Haha. I've taken Railvis's place. So, Rail,
you
go
do
ahead.
all the talking.
Go ahead.
You do all the talking, and you take my place, and then you blame me for the fact that you get sidetracked.
Yeah, that's how it is. I do everything, yet I blame you for everything that goes wrong. It's fun. So why don't you take us into the 2.3 patch notes and give us some choicey information.
Hold on, let me go slit my wrists, you jerk. All right. 2.3 patch notes. They can be found on the Blizzard forums if you go check them out. You can read along and participate. And
Are they on the Warcraft forums?
Actually, I might be lying through my teeth, but they definitely are at mmo-champion.com. You can find them about halfway down the page. All right, you happy now?
Yes,
Stupid
I am
jerk.
happy now.
All right, moving along. Things that are kind of interesting. Well, I'm going to skip down to the bottom just because it's something that was talked about in another show earlier this week, is the fact that they're implementing it, the auction house to have the ability to scan it every 15 minutes or even easier to scan it than it already is for people using WoW Econ or any other kind of mod that allows you to help with your auction house doings. I think it's kind of interesting, though, that Blizzard is implementing this ability to make mods work easier with their program rather than doing like every other interesting mod that people use a lot and stealing it for their own.
Well, you mean like threat meter, absorbing it in and doing threat meter and that kind of thing?
And voice chat.
And voice chat and a plethora of other things that I'm sure have been
They
added
stole.
to the base GUI since
I lost the game.
beta was released. But you know what? To be perfectly honest, despite the fact that Blizzard is just making it easier for modders, I'm okay with that. Maybe they're lazy. Maybe they just don't feel like implementing it in their game. Maybe that's kind of silly because they're taking all the other stuff. But I like the fact that they're now making it easier for people who use Auctioneer and WoW Econ to get in there and to get direct feeds as opposed to having to do all the crazy stuff that they did before where they went through and scanned every single page of the auction house. And it took like 27 hours and... you know, you had to just sit there and, like, go make yourself a sandwich in the time being. Because what these mods do is they, in addition to just making people like me who are incredibly lazy able to go through and see what's a good deal and what's not, it helps keep a little bit of consistency in this quote-unquote, economy that's going up in World of Warcraft. When you have things that feed back a base average value, it prevents from sudden large deviations away from that average value. Yeah, over the long term, you can get very long or very trends in that either the price goes up or the price goes down, the price goes side to side, maybe backwards, forwards, whatever direction you want to move in. But having an averaged value that is actually printed out prevents it, from arcane dust for being sold for 30 gold per stack of 20 one day to being 70 gold the next day to being 5 gold the day after that, because the people who use these average things see, oh, well, that 70 gold's obviously way too high priced, I'm going to wait for it to come down. And likewise, oh man, that 5 gold auction for arcane dust is a really good deal, I'm going to snatch it all up and then I'm going to sell it back for more money and all that kind of stuff.
All right, I have 2 quick points to make. One, for everyone out there listening, if you haven't realized by now, Hiko is rather verbose. 2, this one's directed at Hiko. We only have about an hour left in the show, so if every point we're going to stop on, you're going to go off on, we're never going to get through this, which is fine. We could have a 6-hour show on patch notes.
That would be great. We could go out and get coffee, bring the show on the road, wirelessly transmit from my laptop from Dunkin' Donuts or something, talking about the patch notes at 5 a.m. It'll be 10 a.m. over in Europe, and people will be waking up and they'll go to check out what's on.
All right.
What? I wanted to just kind of drag it out.
Shh. Deep breath and hold it. All right, something that'll interest Hiko and myself and maybe all those other healers out there is plus healing bonus will go up. Will give 33% of spell damage as well. So Hiko, what does this mean?
This means that all of the healers out there like me who hate to respec just for the sake of leveling and want to keep healing as they're grinding up to the next level, so to speak, or doing their quests, making their money on dailies, they're not going to have to rely on an uber set of damage gear. If you can have 1500 plus healing in your decent Kara healing set, then you can run around with something on the order of 500 plus damage and not be absolutely useless as far as soloing goes, which is great for all the people who are like me and just can't play their Priest Shadow.
That is a good point. I mean, I know that I've done damage in healing class when I'm standing around with nothing better to do. When the tank is doing awesome and you have nothing better to do, I fire off a couple of things on my shaman, a couple of quick bursts, and it's nice to know that my healing, which is at 453, I know it's kind of sad at level 70, but my plus damage is very small, that at least they can kind of help each other out a little bit.
Yep. Speaking of questing, that one of the biggest things in the patch notes that I noticed that is really cool is Blizzard has already said that they really like the whole idea of daily quests, things where you get a quest, you do it, repeat it daily. They're taking this kind of to the next level where they're now implementing random daily quests in 2 ways, actually. One is going to be quests you can get for the Outland in the lower city, and you'll be able to go out and do random instant space quests. You'll have heroic and non-heroic versions, and you'll go out and do the instance, do some kind of objective in there, and it'll change from day to day which instance you have to go into and what you have to do. They're doing the same thing for battlegrounds like Warsong Gulch and AB and stuff like that, where you'll have a different battleground quest that you can go into, and it'll be a different battleground every day. And that's great. I think that's spectacular, because especially for the battlegrounds ones, because not only will you get money and experience, but you'll also get honor for those. So it'll be another way to kind of supplement your honor flow.
And it's Blizzard going out of their way to really, again, play to a specific niche of people. I'm not saying that people only enjoy PvP, but there are obviously people who enjoy that more than others, like myself. So you're really Blizzard's starting to play to every type of player now, and it's not just the end game, or it's not just the daily quest people or the casual grinders who complain about everything. They're really starting to play to everyone. I like that.
I agree. Everything that gets more people interested so they can enjoy all of the facets of World of Warcraft equally is good in my book.
Let's see. Zulamon's coming out, for those of you who didn't know. It's another 10-man raid instance, and with that said, there will be heroic badges that drop from Zulamon and from Karazhan bosses, and these will be able to be turned in, the heroic badges will be able to turn into a vendor, which already exists, but this vendor will apparently have more stuff to give out.
Which I absolutely love. I mean, there's not a whole lot that I really want out of the heroic badges turn-ins right now as far as my mage goes. There's tons of stuff for my priest, but I pretty much only get to run Karazhan on my priest, so I haven't really had a whole lot of time for heroics. But the fact that you can now get the badges from Karazhan and Zulaman and that there'll be more items is just absolutely fantastic.
I also like it too because I don't do the rep grind to get to heroic keys. It's just kind of crazy for me right now, so at least raiding Kara, if I ever decide to do it with the guild again, will give me an ability to get badges that I wouldn't otherwise be able to get because I don't have heroic keys.
Yep, and that will definitely be good for people like Relius who aren't into the whole grind thing.